Hi, this is Tony with Rainbow Restoration, here to provide you another Rainbow Restoration insight. One of the most common misconceptions that I run into is that people think that insurance will pay for anything and everything after a loss. But that's not exactly how it works. So to be clear and upfront, let's talk about exactly what the insurance does pay for. Well, first, the insurance company pays for damages that are covered in your policy. Nothing more, nothing less. The adjuster does not get to decide based on their personal opinion. Neither does their contractor, and neither does the homeowner. The only authority is the black and white language written into your policy. That's the contract. That's why it's so important to know exactly what you're paying for before a loss ever happens. Next, insurance pays for the resulting damages, not the source. For example, if the pipe bursts in your house and floods your living room, the carrier may cover the cost to repair the floors and the walls affected, but not to replace the pipe itself. Why? Because the pipe is considered the source, not the result. Without definitive source, the carrier can't even make a coverage determination. That's why it is so important to identify and document exactly where the loss started. Another key point is that the insurance company pays for work that is reasonably justified and properly documented. That means that everything you and your contractor submit needs to follow industry standards and be presented in detail before, during, and after the work is completed. If you send the carrier a vague bid that says we're going to fix the house for $30,000, it's going to get denied. What you want them to see is an itemized scope of work showing exactly what was done and why it was necessary, and how it ties back to the covered loss. Finally, remember that claims that are well documented and handled with honesty are usually straightforward and get paid quickly. It's when parties cut corners, inflate prices, or try to bypass the standard process that gets things complicated, delayed, and frustrating. Bottom line, insurance companies pay for covered damages, not sources of loss, and only when work is clearly documented and reasonable and necessary. If you understand that, you'll set yourself up for success instead of frustration. If you find yourself dealing with damage right now and you want to make sure that your claim is properly documented from start to finish, give our team, Rainbow Restoration, a call. We'll help you put everything in place so that your insurance carrier has exactly what they need to process your claim. In our next video, I'll share with you who's actually in charge of your claim. Spoiler alert, it may not be who you think.